I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible.
Donald Trump is a daily dose of exaggeration, but not about one thing: the size and fervor of his following.
Wow, what a crowd.
All across America, they line up for hours, waiting for the show.
I got about 2 hours sleep.
We met Courtney Modisette at 6:30 a.m. in Westfield, Indiana, proudly perched outside the door for a 7 p.m. Trump event. What possessed you to come here 12 and a half hours early for the Trump rally?
My kids are going to remember this. Their kids are going to remember this. And I grew up with my family loving Trump.
Modisette is like many Trump voters we met in dozens of interviews. Until Trump came along, politics meant next to nothing.
Unfortunately, this is sad to say, this is the first time that I voted.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
Trump's voice has been raucous, caustic, insulting, and divisive. Cindy Lyons is from Jackson, Mississippi.
Well, Donald Trump has a straightforward way that he communicates.
Has he ever spoke so plainly that you kind of cringed?
I understand about what's behind what he's saying.
Richard Matkey is from Londonderry, New Hampshire.
And he's not a dummy, like everybody seems to think. You don't make $1 billion being an idiot. So I think he's smart enough to run the country.
They're $5 or 3 for $10.
Trump is also the voice of a part of America that's given up on the two parties and the system. One that smells corruption everywhere, a long-lost and so-called silent majority that is buying the political equivalent of a lottery ticket.
They're all part of the same deal, man. You know, it's hold your nose and pull the lever.
Trump voters have had enough of holding their nose.
I mean, I'm mad. I've been mad. I'm one of the angry, voters that they've been discussing for the last year. So
we met Ray Paredes at this Trump rally in Virginia, a 3-hour drive from his home. What are you angry about?
Like I said, I'm just angry that the Republicans, it's like they're just milquetoast.
We talked to Trump before the South Carolina primary and asked about his fawning crowds and the weight of their expectations. Do you feel that is a burden, though, if you become president?
It's a burden. It makes it tougher for him. I don't want to let these people down.
Trump!
Trump supporters believe, unshakably, something else, that Trump can't be bought.
I didn't have to do this.
George and Alexandra Simoes of Massachusetts.
He says the things that needs to be said.
About what? What's important to you?
The truth that nobody else says.
Trump is different because he doesn't have to answer to any donors, any lobbyists.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
Part of the Trump phenomenon derives from fame, reality TV sizzle.
You wanted law and order in this town. You've got it.
A kind of lowbrow celebrity that former President Ronald Reagan was once derided for. The comparisons crop up frequently, even though Trump supporters can't always explain why. Lucas Quinn from Union, Mississippi.
He's got a little Reagan in him, too, which is always a good thing.
What echoes for you about Reagan and Trump?
Just, I don't really know. I mean, I wasn't alive when Reagan was president, so I can't speak on Reagan, but...
Details aside, Quinn is convinced Trump's got whatever Reagan had.
Everything he did made America great.
So make America great again.
Make America great again.
That slogan is part of the forlorn sense among Trump backers that America is losing something. We met Ariel Robb in West Bend, Wisconsin. She's been selling Trump products for months.
They see a person that actually stands for, what they've been thinking in their head, but were too afraid to say all the years.
Like defending the Confederate flag, which, ironically, Trump has said belongs in a museum. Robb sells it with Trump 2016 right in the middle.
And it kind of just works together because there's a lot of controversy about Trump and there's a lot of controversy about the flag.
Tremaine Williams, another Trump fan, was selling gear at the next tent. There's a perception that there's a distance, a great distance, between Trump and African Americans in our country.
Right. I believe it's being portrayed through the media as something like in those terms.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest?
Trump rallies, wherever they are, draw far more whites than blacks, a trend Williams defied long before Trump began his late campaign minority outreach.
What do you have to lose?
Because I'm black, does that mean I live a certain lifestyle? Do I fall under a certain category? If you're for education, regardless if you're black or white, I'm for you. If you're talking about building the economic system, black or white, I support you.
There's something else that works for Trump. Visceral, almost primal hatred of Hillary Clinton, on T-shirts and through catcalls.
Hillary Clinton is a bigot.
It often gets ugly on the trail. Betsy Wilson of Virginia came to a Trump rally in patriotic dress and full of Clinton skepticism.
I don't believe Hillary. I would like to see a woman president, but not her.
Which brings us back to where we began, to Courtney Modisette and her day-long wait for Trump. What happens to this country if Trump isn't elected?
That is a question I cannot answer. With Hillary, with Clinton, you don't know. You can't trust her. That's the thing.
And we will make America great again.
Even Trump's supporters don't know the exact direction Trump will take them. They only believe it's better than where they've been.